This is AndyTube, and I've come up with an alternative method for putting the thumb screw and the screw that holds the thumb screw back on the stud here, the feed regulator stud. I know the method I did earlier in my 404 restoration doesn't always work, and I recently had a request from a viewer, Shelley, to see if there was any other way because it wasn't working too good for her. So if that method doesn't work, here's an alternative, and that's to partially assemble the pieces in your hands instead of on the stud. So see if I can get this in the view here. If we take the slide and the thumb nut, and on this particular one, this is kind of beveled here and flat on the other end, so I'll do the beveled end, but I put the slide and put the nut on it first instead of putting the slide in the stud. I hope you all had your Dramamine today. Okay, so remember, it's come on, you. It's left to tighten it. It's the opposite. It's not righty-tighty, it's lefty-tighty. And usually what happens is the little tiny teeth on the end of that maybe have been bent or worn, and it's hard to line them up with the threads inside the nut. So see, like I got this one started and then it hesitated, but by rocking it back and forth, I know that on this 347 there's a similar problem. So don't force it, because you'll just do more damage to the teeth. And putting some oil on a what I started to say was putting oil on a Q-tip and kind of oiling the inside of the nut can help. But if you hit a hesitation spot, you know, kind of try and wiggle past it, and remember to keep turning left. If it really hits a hard spot, don't force it. Back it off, turn it right, back it off, and start over. But once you get like the first part of those threads going good, then it will go on. And don't force it. So you turn the nut up till it's tight against your slide. This one doesn't really have an ear, it's got a worn spot. If you have the ear, be sure that you put it on the slide now with the ear to the correct place you want it, and then just slide that slide into the stud, okay, as far as it'll go. And if you put the slide kind of horizontal, it'll stay there. See if I can zoom a little. And what you're looking for now is to see the tip of the stud sticking out past the thumb nut. And now you can attempt to put the washer and the screw, because the screw actually screws into the stud, not the slide. And towards this end of the slide is a little crossbar for support. So sometimes the screw will hit that crossbar before it can hit the threads of the stud. So with the tip of the stud sticking out, it's not much, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. See if you can get up there and get the screw against that now, and righty-tighty on the screw. Just gently. If you hit a snag, back it up and start over. Just gently get it in there and center the washer. Kind of self-centers, but just in case. And snug it, but don't over tighten. because that stud is already split. So if you really force it, you're gonna like open up the split more, and then the screw won't hold. And you can like snug it, and you'll feel hesitation. And on most of them, if you keep turning, it's going to slip out of the thread. And if that happens, just keep going a little more, but it should eventually stop. And we'll yep, that's it. Now I'm good. Okay, so once you get the screw into the stud, then turning the thumb nut to the right will push the slide in. Turning it to the left will pull it out, so you have full movement. Okay, so that may help you if you're having trouble building that together onto the stud, is to put the slide into the thumb nut first, and just like that, it turns left. Whoops, back out here, sorry. So it turns left to tighten and right to loosen. So that's the two little critical things. See, I can feel it hesitate. It's hesitating down here at the end of the slide where these little baby teeth are. And I can see on this particular slide the teeth on this side are worn more than this. So you may have a bent tooth, or you may have a bent thread inside the thumb nut. So a little oil maybe, and just keep playing with it. And you might find it easier to play with it when you got two hands like this instead of on the stud. Now you can see how that just threaded right on crooked. It gets wonky. So take it off, and I'll just see if I can start it a little. Yeah, see, because of the bent threads on this slide, I'm having a little problem myself. There we go. Okay, that got past the first part. Then when I get about here, yeah, right here, it wants to hesitate again as those threads go deeper. So I just kind of keep gently wiggling it, and they finally there they go. They caught, and then I can proceed. And once you get that done, you're golden. And then put that slide in the stud, and then you should see, let's see if I can get a little better picture of that. Yeah, can you see how that just barely sticking out there? That's where the screw is going to go, right into that split stud. Hey. So, unless your threads are just like totally destroyed, I think you can play with it and get it to go. Alright, hope that helps, and thank you. Come back and see me again. Take care.